Hello, Miss Fullerton. I'm here with your son. Will say hello. Here is your current situation as I see it. And so I'm really glad I got to talk to you guys. So with Occidental, given what they said, given your experience, I think what your son did, what you guys did was great, which is we're interested still, but we told them the truth, which is look, the event that you're asking me to be seen at, I will probably have had to have made a decision by that point, and that's a good place to be. That's what I like. Here's the list of schools your son, as of today, is planning to apply to. So with these schools, William, we talked about this. I want you to write something genuine for these schools. If we haven't heard from them, and all I want you to do for right now is for the genuine part. I just want you to say, dear coach, I just sorry, I'll fix the typos afterwards. I just wanted to wish you good luck against that and nothing else. Cool. Don't say anything else. Just reply to your last email you sent to them and just say good luck. In a couple weeks, we'll follow up with some video. And this is to this point, what I'm saying is we have offers and interest from schools we like, and probably we're gonna choose of those. And our top choice we're gonna go visit, which I'm gonna talk about in a minute. But my point to that is we're still going to pursue the other options, but not with financial means. Like we're not going to probably go to a camp. We're probably not going to go to a game. If we can do it through video and do it through email and in relationship basis, then we'll do that. But we're not going to probably fly somewhere unless they turn around and say back to our email like we love you, please, we want to see you, etc. So to that end, he's going to send this to the genuine ones that we have not heard from. So I'm thinking like Lafayette, Bucknell, Holy Cross. These are schools that are maybe our reach schools. Santa Clara is going to be really a reach school. And we're going to just say good luck. You have to show them that you care. So that's that. Occidental, we drafted a message back to them based off their response. Basically, we're going to say we're staying in touch. Thank you so much. That's the gist of it. Now with Denison, which is our top choice, your number one choice, and they like you as well. William explained he's already gone to visit them. You guys have done the tour. You've already spoken to like the admissions and done that aspect. The main thing that you have to get done on this visit is at some point, William has to say to the head coach, I've done a lot of research. I have other offers. Other schools are asking me to do ED1. Denison is my top choice. You guys have to put that on the table. So the analogy I give is like, this is the love of our life, kind of, in college soccer terms. And if we keep playing a game, which we haven't been playing, but say we were like, oh, let's keep playing it cool. And I'm just, I'll play it cool. And then they'll come back for me and then they'll make me an offer. Not at earlier in the summer, sure. Now at this stage in fall, you propose your love. You say, you're my school. I love you. And if they don't love you back, then we don't want to be in a relationship with them anyways, and we move on. So what I wanted to tell both of you is what I anticipate happening with this particular visit, given they've seen him play in person. I don't think the same thing with Occidental where they'll say we need to see more of you. Partially Occidental's a California school. It's very competitive, but also you guys have gone they've seen you at the camp. They know who he is. He has friends there. It's a different relationship. They're soccer-wise, I think they're both probably equally good. They're super competitive, really good soccer teams. So to that end, I think the event will go like this. He'll go, they'll enjoy himself, they'll eventually say a meeting, and the coaches will say one of two things. We really like you. We'd like you to do XYZ to come to our school. Or, hey, we spoke to a staff. We want to see some more video of this in particular. Like, send us these types of clips. Or they'll say we want to see him again at an event, which will kind of sting. I get that, but that's our ideal school. That's how I see this event going. But the only thing in our control that we have to do is say, I like this school. Now, I gave your son a software basically that will allow him to send an email from his own Gmail account to many schools at once. And that will help us speed up this process. He knows how to use it. Then I drafted a couple emails. So the purpose of this is for the D1 schools and for the D3 schools that we're still kind of interested in, but maybe we haven't heard back from. Specifically, this strategy is for like the Holy Cross, who we've messaged, but we haven't heard back from. He's even left us on red. I was telling him the analogy. We're going to go look at other teams, other people, and we're going to see if we can gain their interest. And then we go back to Holy Cross and say, here's my situation. Tell me, are you interested or not? And then at the end of the day, we don't want to go anywhere that they don't want us. So even if Holy Cross turned around and was like, sure, you can come on our team. You'll be the last guy on the roster. Is that really a place you want to be? Probably not. So just because they want you doesn't necessarily mean you should go. We have one other student. This was last year, so a year ahead of your son. And he was keeping touch with the school over and over again with the videos, and he was doing a great job. And the coach said, look, you've been so persistent. We love your persistence. If you are admitted into school via ED1, you have a spot on the team. And the player was super excited. And I said, look, that is amazing. Credit to you for being persistent, for following my directions. We did the every touch videos. But I said, look, the coach doesn't really want you. He's not like excited. He's like, we love your persistence. You can come be the 30th guy on the team. Is that where you want to go? And for this particular student, they really like the academics and everything. So they actually ended up being offered to a different school that they liked more. But the point was that we want to find a school that loves us and we love them. Similar relationship. Okay, so the next step is this. I'd like to know how the Denison goes. I'd like him to send out these emails, and then we have to decide probably at the end of September, so I'll say end of September, is there a camp in October, November, December that we want? And then the big thing that I care about is, William, would you agree that we're probably going to make a decision about a school before the early decision 1 date?
Yeah.
So to that end, he says yes. I know you can't hear him. So to that end, really, as much as I'm saying next time, let's talk about October, November, December, not really, because he's going to make a decision by ED1, which is November 1st for a lot of these schools, November 8th, November 15th, November 30th. So here's what I would like to suggest, and I want to be very strongly about this. I'm an expert when it comes to the college soccer recruiting process. In my, hopefully you feel that I've done a good job. Any point being, when it comes to the admissions piece, that is not my expertise. So I've brought a partner, who's a dear friend of mine, who's an expert. She went to Harvard. This is what she does for a living. She helps kids make sure that they get into their ED1 choices. That is her job. They look at the application, they look at the references, they look at the essays. Yes, the soccer team has said if you do ED1 based off of your pre-read, based off your information, you're going to get in, but there is no guarantee. And Occidental said that themselves. There is no guarantee that they get in. So I think it would be silly to go all this way. We press one wrong button on the application form or fill out the essay with a grammatical error, and they go, you know what, you're not getting in, and now you will lose the opportunity to play soccer there. So I would like to encourage you to schedule a meeting with this woman. Her name is Lucy. She works for a big company that, does this for a living, but I've asked her to just work with my students in a private manner for those that want it. It's a free call. You just basically will explain the exact situation. She'll already know it, some of it, because I will have prefaced her, assuming you book her, say, here's their situation, here are the schools, this is what he needs to do. And she'll say, okay, let me review what they have already and then suggest the next steps. So I would encourage you to give her a call. That is it at the moment. William, while I have you and we have your mom who's listening to this, the schools that you're thinking of doing ED1 to from this list, let's pretend Denison moves forward in the direction we're thinking. That would be one. What would be another school? We can only choose one, but we have to think about it.
Definitely Holy Cross. I mean, that's been my dream school for forever.
Perfect. So for Holy Cross specifically, and if we get admitted, we could talk about soccer, but giving this as our dream school with or without soccer, you really should talk to this woman because, again, I care that you play soccer, yes, but I want you to have great academics. So please, please, please speak to this woman. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
And then I think probably Bucknell.
Cool. Keep going.
And then Occidental.
Okay, which would be probably ED2. Yes?
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to do ED1. So the other thing is we can only choose one of these schools, by the way, unless we get feedback if we do ED1 and they tell us by December, and then sometimes the second ED's in January, then we could theoretically ED again. So my point is, the other thing I'm going to write down here is September 14th. I'm going to put this as number 1. Please work on deciding which school we would do ED1 to. Let me ask you this. If you got into Holy Cross and Denison just at the same time, just hypothetical, what would you pick?
Holy Cross.
Okay, so he said he'd pick Holy Cross, which is really big. So here's another thing. Is it possible that we could, and this is difficult, but is it possible that we could, if Denison say they're interested and they say apply, maybe they say just do regular admission, then we do ED1 for Holy Cross, keep our mouths shut, basically, and this is not the politest thing to do, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you and your son. You go to Dennis and you go, I'm coming to your school, I can't wait. But you ED, or we could preface it with, hey, I've ED'd to Holy Cross. We could tell him that, which probably would be wise. But we would say to Dennison, yes, I'm coming to school, I love it, but I am EDing to Holy Cross. And if I get in to Holy Cross, I'm going to go. And they may say, okay, given those circumstances, don't come to our school, we don't want you. Or they might say, which is probably why we shouldn't say anything, or they'll say, hey, that's a fine. We understand if that's, the Holy Cross, we get it. That's your dream school. That's your dream school. So to that end, it's going to take a little bit of strategy leading into ED. When is the date for Holy Cross ED1? Do you know?
I think it's November 1st.
I think so too. So that means we have until then basically to get Holy Cross's attention. I think one thing we should actually email Holy Cross. So you're going to email this to Holy Cross. Good luck. You've already done that before though, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what you're going to email to Holy Cross. This is specific for Holy Cross. You're going to go like this. I'm going to put this. Hold on a second. Thank you, Mother, for your patience. I try and do the videos so it's just a summary, but this was good that we spoke it out loud to everybody. Okay, so I'm going to say number 1, please book Lucy. And I'm going to give you her link. Number 2, Holy Cross. Oops. Okay. Number 2, Holy Cross. Dear Coach, I have been made multiple offers. That said, I plan to do ED1 to your school. If I am admitted, may I let you know? Now, the reason we're not saying like, may I let you know, could I then have a walk-on opportunity, is basically if we say, may I let you know for the opportunity to be on the team, I think what he probably won't respond, would be my guess. Not that he's 10 times more likely to respond to this one, but by saying, may I please let you know, I think he's more likely to say, yes, please let me know, and we'll talk then, as opposed to, if I'm admitted, can I have a spot on the team? I think he'll just ignore it, because it's like, I don't want to deal with this kid. But if you're saying it, otherwise, this is saying, hey, the kid just wants to let me know, and then maybe I could deal with a walk-on, because if Holy Cross is really his true favorite, and he can get into Holy Cross, and they go, you know what, why don't you walk on in the spring? Your son would say, great, that is worth it, because I get to go to my dream school, and then in the spring, I get to wait 1 semester, and I'll get to potentially play soccer. So, and if, by the way, if he gets into Holy Cross, we're going to go to the coach's door pretty much every day, or that's what I would tell you to do, until he says, no, you can never have a tryout, stop coming, or, hey, why don't you come try out, if he gets in. So I think you should say, I've been made multiple offers. That said, I plan to ED1 to your school. If I'm in, may I let you know? So I want him to say that to Holy Cross. And if they still don't respond, we'll deal with it still. We're not going to give up yet, but that's the Holy Cross. Okay, that brings us to the other schools that I had here on the list. These schools, we could say something similar, but we can't ED1 to all of these. The only reason I'm thinking, if we say that same sentence to all of these, based off there. So let me ask you this. Well, he's doing ED1 to Holy Cross, right? Unless Dennison, let me ask you this, William. If Dennison make you an offer and Holy Cross say you're not going to be on our team, do you still want to do ED1 to Holy Cross?
No, ED1 to Dennison.
Okay, he said he would ED1 to Dennison. So my hypothetical is not realistic anyways, which is he gets in at the same time. Which one would you pick? So to that end, what if so you're saying if you could play soccer, that would prioritize it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is an argument then to say the same email to Bucknell and Lafayette. And because if they respond with, hey, let us know, because then we'll let you walk on, that's like they say it firmly, then that might prioritize those ED1s instead of Holy Cross. This is assuming Dennison doesn't want us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think actually you should send this email. Dear Coach, I've been made enrolled, so I'll send this to Holy Cross, Bucknell, and Lafayette. And this is true. That said, I plan to. Right now, we plan to ED1 to one of these schools. So I think I just lost your son. Anyways, he'll get the rest of this video. I've been to multiple offers. That said, I plan to ED1 to your school. If I'm admitted, may I let you know? Okay, now, please work on deciding. Okay, we just did that. Okay, now Occidental. He knows what to do for the rest of it. So here's, I guess, what I would say. Sorry, this was a bit longer. You can fast forward this. I think what I want you to do is let's see how Denison goes and go from there. Let's see how Denison goes and go from there. Tell me how Denison goes, and let's talk after that. That will help us figure out what's next. Because if Denison make an offer, then we can be done. If they don't, then we have to deal with the next things. And he's going to send out these other emails. Okay, I think I lost him, but I'll send you guys a message. Let me know if you need anything. Per usual, I'm going to give you her Calendly thing right now. 1 second. Okay, I will put her link here for you guys because I think, especially if you're going to ED1 to Holy Cross, you should have her look at his application to give him the best chance. Okay, I'll talk to y'all soon.